Hey Divas, I've wanted to do a record collection tour for a while because I really love collecting physical media like literally everyone else on the planet right now. And I considered at first doing records, CDs, and DVDs all together, but I've got a lot of CDs and DVDs, and so I was like, no, I'll stick to my records and I'll do those in a separate video because otherwise it'll be like 40 minutes long. So, I talk for longer than I think I do, so this should be really interesting. But I'm very excited to get into these. When did I start collecting records? I think I must have been about 16 when I got my first one, so I'm very excited for this. Says a lot about my music taste, I think. Uh, it's not really in any particular order. I just kind of grab them and put them down. So let's get started. I'm very excited. Also, this is just I don't care about editing. I like long form content, so and I like Ethel Kane does videos without the cuts, so we're not gonna cut it at all. So, the first one that I've got, I love her so much, is Melodrama by Lorde. What a what an album. Also, I held up the wrong way, of course. One album. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. I actually got this half price, I think, at Rough Trade, which I was so like surprised by because it's usually around like £30, and it's one of my favorite albums ever. One I really relate to. Um, the production on this album, the lyricism, just there's a reason why Lorde is like such a big female artist despite having like 3 albums out. She's incredible. That album, I know a lot of people actually have a really big connection to that album. Um, One of the best produced pop records ever, dare I say. And it's like I'm not the biggest, like I'm not a massive fan of Jack Antonoff's production. Like I enjoy a lot of the things that he's produced on. He's a clearly a very talented producer, but I feel like Melodrama is some of his best work, like of all time, along with NFR by Lana. But Lana records are so expensive because I love Lana Del Rey, but I kind of can't really drop £50 on a record. Yikes. But anyways, moving on. I forgot about this one. This one of my favourite albums of all time. Literally always there for me. Whenever I get angry, I always put this one on. And it's Live Through This by Hole. I love that album so much. I feel like I saw a post a while ago that said that it's like one of those albums that teenage girls find when they're like 14 and it changes their entire life. And I completely agree with that. Like I feel like just the raw anger and frustration really comes through in this record. One of, in my opinion, the best grunge records. And it's like, have your own opinion on Courtney Love or whatever, but I feel like it's like undeniable that Hole was such an impactful band. But of course, not taken away from all the amazing women of colour in the Riot Girl scene um, that came before Hole and Courtney Love. That album's just great. It's just, I feel like it's one which I feel like it's weird to say deserves more love because obviously it is a very influential and well known grunge record. But I feel like it is one where it's like I'm glad that I found it when I was 13, um, because it really just growing up with that record, I just felt so like understood by the lyrics and the content in it. And it's one that I really enjoy. And to this day, I love re listening to it. And it comes out every few months when I remember it, and it's all I can listen to. The next one, this was the first record. Yeah, because this was the first one I bought with my own money, which is very exciting. Is Take This to Your Grave by Fall Out Boy. Um, yeah, emo child, but I love Fall Out Boy. I love Fall Out Boy. Um, I got that from HMV. I think this was before I had, because I've had 2 record players now. This was before I had my first one, so I was using my parents' record player to play that one. Um, and it's it's just a good record, and it's like I feel like I feel such a connection to it because it was the first record that I ever bought. And it's just it's just I yeah, it's Fall Out Boy. Just can't go wrong with them really, and I love just the grit and the edge that they had when they were still like edgy teenagers producing this record, and it's great. It's great. I love it. It's just so good. It's just so good. I could go on for ages about Fall Out Boy and the fact that I was practically raised on them. So it's kind of cute that was like the first record that I ever got. Very, very similar vein here is Paramore, All We Know Is Falling. Another like quintessential emo record that I was also raised on. Obviously, Paramore and Fall Out Boy, part of the emo trinity. That record is another one I got from HMV. I think HMV did a thing where they repressed a shit ton of like kind of like classic emo albums, but they did it on like, I'll try and show it actually. They did it on like this kind of grey. Oh, yeah, this kind of like grey, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I kind of don't care. I'm not somebody that collects records like to try like I don't like only collect coloured ones and stuff. Like it's fun if I can get a coloured one, but it's like I kind of don't care about that. I usually just get whichever one's the cheapest. But yeah, it's just the same as the Fall Out Boy one, really. Like you kind of can't go wrong with that album. It's so good, just impactful as well. And then another one which is kind of a 180, but not really, is I think this was the third record I ever got, and I still love this one very, very dearly. Is Archangels by Grimes. I love this one so much actually. I'm a liar because I said there'd be no cuts, but there was one then. But yeah, just such. I don't know. I feel like this is probably, I'd credit it as maybe the album that got me into more like experimental and electronic pop music, which kind of more what I'm into now. But this one specifically, Kill Be Made by Grimes. Oh my god. Just looking at the track list now, I'm pretty sure it was Kill Be Made. Was probably like the song that got me into like Grimes in general. I love the music video. I love that song. It's just I was so obsessed with watching all like shit tons of interviews and like the genius lyric things with Grimes. She just really fascinated me. During those developmental years, I was really inspired by her approach to music and producing and like the general aesthetic of her work. There's some like print things that come with it, which I'm too scared to put up because they're double sided and I don't want to ruin one of them. But they're cool. Just yeah, it's kind of a shame what happened later on, but oh well. It's still an amazing record, which I would really, really highly recommend. Then, oh, this is where it takes a turn. This is where it goes from more like, I say alternative stuff. I know that I started with Lorde, but you know, more alternative emo stuff into more what I listen to now. I think this one. Did I buy this one? No, this one was gifted to me by my very good friend Joel. Shout out to Joel. I think Joel also gave me another one in this list, which we'll get to later. But yeah, and it is Hold the Girl by Rina Sawayama. She actually changed the cover for this. Ooh, I didn't realise how cool that was. Hold on. I'm going to try and show this. But very, very fun. Very, very cool. I love Rina a lot. Yeah. Rina, where is she? Where is she? Can she ever come back, please? Because that album, also, I feel like that album was really, really overhated. Like, I feel like the thing was, she had big boots to fill after Sawayama, because that album, was so incredible, and immediately became like, I guess, I don't know if I'd go as far as say a pop bible, but that album was so good. I was gonna say everyone was over it, they kind of weren't, but you know, for the people that were in the sort of genre, subculture, whatever, that she's a part of, like it was a big thing because that album was great. It was just so well done, and I will always sing praises for that album. And it's like Hold the Girl was also a good album, but I feel like people were expecting more of what Sawayama was. So then when Hold the Girl came out, and it's like I feel like it's a lot slower, a lot more deep and personal. People weren't really a fan of it, which is fair, you know. Like I do prefer Sawayama, but Hold the Girl is still a really good record, and it's kind of sad that I feel like people didn't really like it as much. But oh well, I'm still sad that I missed her because she played Rock City, and I didn't know anyone that liked Rena at the time, so I completely missed out on it, which I'm still so upset by because it would have been so good. And I did a music video for my media A level to Who's Gonna Save You Now, which is an amazing song, but I couldn't listen to it for like a year afterwards. Oh my god, the next one, I love it so much. Another one which I think I'd been eyeing this record up for months in Rough Trade, and I finally gave in and I got it, and it's maybe my most played record of all time. I'm just gonna throw that out there, and it is How I'm Feeling Now by Charlie. I love Charlie XCX so much. So I was very, very, very happy that she finally got her flowers when Brat came out. How I'm Feeling Now is what's my favourite Charlie album now, actually? I don't know. But How I'm Feeling Now was my favourite Charlie album for ages. I really love it. I really love it. Just every single track is incredible, and the production on this album is insane. I love it so much. Yeah, I just like just one which I wish got the same attention that Brat did. I feel like a lot of people that like Brat, if they haven't really dived into Charlie's like other discography, would really enjoy How I'm Feeling Now, because it's so just like the A.G. Cook production really like shines through, and A.G. Cook was my favorite producer for a hot minute. Actually, he still might be my favorite producer. Actually, it's between him and George Daniel, so which is kind of a spoiler for later, but teehee. Oh, here was the other one that my friend Joel got me, which is an album which I've revisited this so much, like in the past few months. For some reason, when I started uni, there were a ton of artists that I was like only kind of casually into in college that all of a sudden I went like head first, and I was like, okay, I'm obsessed with these artists now. This is one of them, who I also really hope gets her flowers because she's incredible, and I love her so much. It is Caroline Polachek, with Pang. What a good album! Like the fact that this was her debut is insane. It's just, once again, another one where I really love the production on this album. Um, I need to get Desire I Want to Turn Into You, because I feel like, yeah, she's well known for that album. But yeah, that one's incredible as well. The fact that, like I said, it was her debut. It was such a good debut album as well. And the thing that I really love about Caroline is just her dedication to the aesthetics of her album. As somebody that really, really loves like the aesthetics of like music videos and committing to the bit essentially, she does that amazingly with the music videos for this album. Also, she did it really well for Desire I Want to Turn Into You as well, because just the entire music video for Welcome to My Island is just one of my favorites of all time. She really just commits, and she like goes like head first into the aesthetics. Like you will know the aesthetics of whichever album she's doing. It's incredible. I love her so much. Such an underrated artist. Like I don't know. I just feel like I always forget that she's not as popular as I think she is. But yeah, she's incredible. Whenever her and Charlie collab, it's going to be amazing because they did Tears from Pop 2, and then they obviously did Everything's Romantic on the Brat remix album, which I love so much. I think that might actually be my favourite remix from the Brat remixes. But anyways, I love her. She's incredible. I feel like, honestly, if you're going to check out like one artist from this video, I'd say Caroline Polachek. She's just, yeah, I cannot sing enough praises about her. And like I said, I think she's more popular than she actually is. But yeah, she deserves so much love and so much attention for just everything that she does. The next one is kind of breaking the theme a bit. This is definitely the oldest record that I own, and maybe go as far as say worst condition. And it is, if I can pick it up, the Muppet Show score, because I really, really love the Muppets. And I saw this on Vinted because I like to collect Muppet stuff. My collection is still very small, but I like to collect Muppet stuff. And I saw this on Vinted, and I was like, you're coming with me. You're coming home with me. Um, so I got that. It's really fun. I love it. Just can't go wrong. I wish the Muppet Show still existed. There are so many celebrities where I'm like, yeah, like they need to be on the Muppet Show, and so I'm very happy to have that for my Muppet collection. It's not like the actual record itself is in good condition. The I forgot the word, but yeah, the outside isn't really, but I don't mind because I'm not like I have played it. Like I'm not just gonna keep it there and not touch it. I'm gonna play it. Um, so yeah, I love the Muppets. Um, I don't know if they did a vinyl pressing of the Muppets 2011 film soundtrack, but I hope that they did because it's full of bangers. Oh my god. Yeah, a kind of an would I call them emo? Probably not, but a lot of people that like emo stuff like them, so I'm kind of gonna shove them into that group. I'm sorry to the band. I know that they kind of hate being called emo. They especially hate being called pop punk. So, but this was actually I bought this after I think my first shift at the job that I currently have, and was one of my top three albums for like 5 years. I don't think it is anymore, but it's still one that has a really special place in my heart and was very impactful to my 16-year-old brain. That is Fandom by Waterparks. Oh, good lord. I apologise to any of my friends that are watching this that knew me during the peak of the Waterparks era because Jesus Christ, that was bad. The parasocial relationships I had with that band were criminal, but they were the first concert I ever went to. It was a good concert, and it's like I still enjoy their music. Their music is still good. It's just that I'm not completely obsessed with them anymore, which is good, I guess. But I love them. I still love them. Like the things that you like at 14 never escape you. And unfortunately, Waterparks and My Chemical Romance were like the big things for me at 14. So yeah, that album it's just a good album. I'll put it out there. I think it's a good album. Waterparks aren't for everyone, and that's fine. But that album, a period piece. Oh my god, it reminds me of being 15 so vividly. Jesus Christ. I think it's a good album. I think it's still regarded as their best album out of all the stuff that they've put out. I think I'd agree with that. I don't know if that's controversial, but it's a good album. Like I said, it was a period piece. Um, I I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Just I feel like it is a really solid like album. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm sorry. Once again, switching back to actually, I don't know. I'll just let it speak for itself. Actually, this one I actually got for £12 because apparently it's damaged. I don't know. But yeah, it's Muna, self-titled. Um, I really like Muna. There's just something about their music which is just so fun, and they're always they come on in the club quite a lot actually, which I really enjoy. I'd like to see them live. I'm not like hugely into them. Like I don't think I'd have paid full price for the record, but it was £12, so I was like, go on. I like the vast majority of the tracks on this album, and yeah, they're a good band. They're a good band. I'd recommend them if you like. If you like, I was gonna say upbeat pop, but they have some real sad stuff on there. But I feel like Moon is just a good all round group. I'll say. Very poppy, but they can also really hit you in the feels. But then when they want to make a synth banger, they do. And I think they all produce the music that they make as well, so that's really cool. Um, I'm still so upset that I couldn't see them, Ethel Kane, and Boy Genius at the same one. And speaking of Boy Genius, I got the Boy Genius EP. I was actually searching for that for a hot minute because I remember me and two of my friends went to a listening party at Rough Trade for when the record was coming out, and so I wanted to get the EP as a vinyl, and I couldn't find it for ages, so we had to order it in. But yeah, just it really reminds me of being 16. Um, I remember listening to Boy Genius before they had like a million monthly listeners, which is crazy that they were like doing all the stuff that they've done now. Oh, I miss them. I miss them so much. But, they're all thriving. So, I hope they're all having a great time. And then, another, like, complete 180. Scene Queen, she's so lovely. I saw her open for Wargasm, 2022, I'm gonna say. Um, she was great. She was great. She's so fun, and she doesn't take herself too seriously. She does like metal, but it's like very girly and hyper feminine, and it doesn't take itself too seriously at all. And I just think it's really fun. She's a great performer. Really knows how to put energy into the crowd and everything. And so I hope one day I can go to a solo concert by her. But it was fun to see her open for them, even though nobody was really feeling it, I don't think, which was a shame because she was one of my favourite artists at the time. Um, but yeah, that's it really. I was very happy, very, yeah, I was very happy when I found that in Rough Trade. I don't know why I didn't expect to see it in there, but it's a half pink, half blue one as well, so that's fun. But like I said, I kind of don't care if they're coloured ones or not, but it's just fun when it's like, oh yay, like it's a plus that it's that. And then another one, um, which this might be my most expensive one potentially, which is The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess by Chappell Roan. I had the absolute pleasure of seeing Chappell Roan um, in Manchester, September last year, which was very, very fun. Um, I got into her just before she blew up, like literally like maybe 4 months before like she got really big, which is crazy to me. Oh, but yeah, she's great. She's great. Like obviously, I feel like everyone knows who Chappell Roan is at this point, so I don't need to like be like, oh, she's this and this. Yeah, she's just great, and I do um appreciate the effort that she puts into like the packaging and design of all her stuff. Like, this one has like a paper like stage curtain thing, and it has star confetti inside it, which can get a bit annoying when I'm trying to like put the record on. But it's fine because it's cute and it doesn't really like it doesn't go everywhere, but it's fine. The next ones are all I think they're all film scores apart from the very last one. Um, no, apart from the last two, never mind. Um, but I collect film scores. I only have three at the minute, but it's fine. I try and collect film scores for like my absolute film scores slash soundtracks for my absolute favorite films, just because I love them. There are a lot on my watch list to buy list. Who knows? But there's a lot that I want. But I've got some really fun ones. Um, I've got the Scott Pilgrim score, which is really really fun, and I love it a lot. Um, I think when did I even get that? Like ages ago. Because I think I was gonna say 50th. It was not 50th. It might have been a 10 year. I'm thinking it was a 10. Yes, potentially. I think it was a 10-year anniversary thing. It probably says somewhere, but I'm not gonna look. But yeah, it's not like my favorite score. It's just that Scott Pilgrim is my favorite film for like 4 years, I'd say. It was the first film that I properly loved and got into, basically, and kind of I'd maybe credit it. No, yeah, I would credit it as the film that got me into films. Um, Obviously, it's like a classic. I feel like everyone's probably seen Scott Pilgrim, and if you haven't, then you should. It's a really good film. Um, yeah, I just thought it was really cool to get the score, um, and it's pressed really good as well. It's like clear and blue, which is really exciting. Uh, I don't play it that much, but I still like to have it because it's like kind of nostalgic. Um, it's still probably in my top, like maybe 20 films. It's not my favourite anymore, which kind of makes me sad, but I still love it a lot. I watched it twice in 1 week in like August. Uh, it's a good plane film, I think, because I watched it when I was going to Canada. And then there's one that I got from Vancouver because there was a record shop called Beat Street Records, I think, and that was like the one place I was really excited to go in Vancouver. I was like, we need to go to this record shop. because my friend told me about it. And I saw their film score collection, and I was immediately very overwhelmed by the sheer size of this record shop. Um, but I managed to make a decision. It was between three film scores, but I got the one of my all-time favorite films, which I don't shut up about, and it's Juno. I love this film so much. I also watched that on the plane as well, because I went through a phase last year where I'd watch Juno like every single like month. It was crazy. But I love it. I love it so much. It's like just beyond a comfort film, and I really love the soundtrack for it. It just fits the vibes perfectly. Whoever made it and like curated it knew what they were doing. It's perfect. Um, it's great. I'm genuinely so surprised that it made it back in one piece though, because my dad was like, "No, put it in the thingy, in the suitcase," and I was like panicking. I was like, "I don't want to do that because it'll crack." So I'm still surprised that it like actually isn't bent or scratched, but oh well, that's very fun. Then the next one, which is kind of the most recent one, um, as of Christmas. What month are we in? We're in March right now. Um, but yeah, the most recent one that I've got, newest one, whatever, is the Virgin Suicides soundtrack score. I love, I love it. It got me into Air, a band who also, coincidentally, did Lost in Translation as well. Another album, that I another soundtrack that I absolutely adore. I love that film as well. It's creeping up to my all-time favorites. I love Sofia Coppola so much, but yeah, I really, really love the soundtrack. But yeah, the soundtrack is just. I feel like the Virgin Suicide soundtrack is just so iconic. Like, obviously, there's High School Lover and everything. Um, just. It's just so good. And like I said with Juno, it just fits the vibes absolutely perfectly. And it's a phenomenal film. I love Sofia Coppola. She's one of my favourite directors ever. Um, yeah, I just love it so much. And then the last two, which are both in sleeves, which I kind of don't want to take them out of because I kind of can't be bothered to try and put them back on. Um, no, the Virgin Suicides one is not my most recent one. Never mind, I completely forgot. My most recent one is actually one of my like kind of new favorite albums of all time. Because to sort of tell the tale that goes along with this is for ages, uh, I was like a really casual fan of this band, and then for some reason, first week of uni, I was just like, I need to get into this band. Like, like I need to actually listen to more of their discography because I really like some of the most popular songs that I was listening to at the time, but I'd never really like dove dived dove any further into their discography, and then so I just was like, oh, I'll listen to them on the way to uni and everything. And then I got completely obsessed with them, so I really apologise to all my friends because I'm like in a chokehold and have been since September with this band. And I have like one friend, maybe two, that like likes them. Um, so no, I love them so much, and this is my favourite album by them. Um, I've still got the sticker on it. Oh my god! But yeah, it is Notes on a Conditional Form by the 1975. I literally haven't even taken it out of the sleeve yet. That's how like recent it is. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But oh my god, it's so good. I feel like this is like the album that is forgotten about a lot. Like I feel like if you're not really into the 1975, I don't see this album get mentioned a lot by people that aren't really into them. Um, I guess it kind of gets overshadowed by their other stuff, and also I think it came out in 2020 as well, so obviously not a great time for it. But I really love that album. I feel like there's just like such a big variety in the kind of stuff that they did in this one, so I love it so much. It's incredible. Um, I could go on for ages about this album. There's 22 tracks in it. I would highly recommend it. Like, I don't even know where to start. I love the lyricism. I love just the diversity in every single song. Like They just, no two songs sound the same. They like go through so many different genres in this album, um, and I just love it so much. And yeah, just I love them. I love that band so much. They're my favorite band, like of all time at the minute. Um, and I feel that they will be for a very long time. Uh, I love it. I love it so much. They just got it with this album. I'm hoping to collect all their other albums as well. Um, but I'll probably need to save because they're another band where their records is like quite expensive for some reason, like more expensive than the normal ones that I get. But yeah, I love the 1975 so